Okay. You have just recent data. Have you downloaded the 3 zip files and open them up?
Yeah, I just did that today.
Okay. You know that it really is a revision of the package, and the revision amounts to adding GSA forms to strengthen our position on performance bonds and payment bonds. It also allows us to modify the contract. It's the official contract modifying thing, and the way we're modifying it is liquidating it. So I think that basically has direct application. There isn't much of the previous documents that are changed or especially not used anymore. It's basically just more or less thoroughly documents what we're doing. And there's two new letters that go forth to explain this. So it's a lot of stuff to look at. It gives you blank forms. However, and I haven't done this yet, you could probably take the forms that he filled out and bring them into something like PDF escape up on the web and edit in place what he has. Or if you can't and you have the blank forms, and you can either write it in or use Adobe Reader to fill out the form, though Adobe Reader won't save it, so you can print it out again. And Patrick likes Nitro PDF. I didn't have many questions about it, but other people seem to. Do you want to start asking ourselves before Patrick gets into it?
Yellow.
Yes. So some of the Skype group have been getting into this pretty seriously. Do they have any comments they want to make about it? Or any subsidiary issues that they brought up, because they seem to have some other concerns too.
What storm? Where?
Brenda.
Okay. If you're talking in the background, please *6. Do *6 on your phone. Mute that out. And then when you want to speak again, do *6 to bring it back. You bring yourself back in. And if I have to do it because of noise, there's a chance you won't be able to get back in. This is a glitch in the pre-conferencing. So make sure you have all the. I have all my documents and PDFs loaded up in my 2 programs, so I'm ready to go through them as Patrick discusses them. So I suggest you all do that too. And the place to do it is to go into the claiming your labor folder. There's a zip file which you need to unzip, and that zip file is called UCC GSA examples. And that has $13 files in it. which you really need to be familiar with.
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah.
I'm trying to open that UCC, the example zip, and I tried it. Patrick actually sent it to me in an email, and I also got it off the Yahoo group. And I opened it. I tried to open it on my computer, and I tried to put it in my Dropbox. It says blocked may contain a virus or spyware. Is there any other?
You're breaking up a fair amount. No, there's no other format for zip files.
Okay.
However, if you go to Yahoo Group, the e-concurrent, we the people shareholders.tk. Just a moment. You'll find that
Actually,
file is on.
I got it.
Zip.
I got it.
Okay. What computer are you on?
I'm just on an HP, but I got it. I had to unblock it. But, I did notice that the OMB number on those GSAs expire July 31st of this year. So does that mean we've got to get them out before then?
Well, there's probably a new OMB number right after that then.
All right.
You could talk to Patrick about that, but that's, I guess, I don't think he put that number on the form. That came on the form.
Yeah, I think they're embedded.
Chelsea Strauss?
Pardon?
Is Chelsea on the call?
I don't know. Chelsea, you there?
No. Thank you.
I'm going to turn off the entry signs.
Thank you for letting me use the computer.
Well, if Kenny come by, tell him his tenant came by to see him. Kenny. Yeah.
Hey, Thomas, what's that icon for the zip files? I can't open it up either. What's the name of it? Does anybody know the program that the zip file's in?
What operating system do you have?
Windows 7.
Right-click on the file.
May I make a suggestion? This is a free program. It's called PZip. Look it up on the internet. Go to PZip. Look it up.
Is
It's
that
a free
E
program.
like
You gotta
Echo?
install it. Say again?
What did you say? I didn't know if you said B, Z, or D. Is it D like E?
Okay, what it is Papa.
Oh, P, Papa, okay.
P-E-A. P for Papa, E for Echo, A for Alpha,
Okay.
P-Zip,
P-Zip
Zulu,
is the name
India,
of it?
Papa.
Okay, we
It's called
got it now.
P-Zip.
P-Zip, P-E-A.
Okay, there's
I'm out.
another one. There is another one also called WinRAR, W-I-N-R-A-R. And that's the most used one. However, right click on the file name, and it probably says extract in that list that you click, and it'll pick up the right program. Right?
Right click and then.
Right click on the file name of the zip file.
Yeah, and then which one? You open link a new tab or what?
Does it say extract?
No.
Okay, then you do have to download another program. Either that PAE zip or WinRAR. WinRAR is the often used one.
Okay.
You ever have to every once in a while tell them I don't want
the computer. I don't think I put it in this computer.
Okay.
I'll just do that.
All right, hit record.
Okay.
Okay, there's 13 files in there, and there's 2 other zips with some blank forms in them. And then we'll take a look at this.
Now, we've posted zip files in the past. How in the hell did you ever open those zip packages up in the past?
I opened them, but this one must be different. I opened up the other ones.
Well, sounds like your Windows 7 is missing something.
I don't know. It surprised me. I couldn't open it. Maybe it needs an update or something.
I can't open it either.
I'll just download either of those 2 packages, PAE zip or WinRAR, RAR. I think both of the files, when they install, they set up file association so that after that, your computer knows to use that program to open those files.
It's actually PZIP, P-E-A, Z-I-P.
There used to be one called PK zip.
This is much more professional. It opens it up in its own folder inside the files.
So everybody's got the files ready to look at? As we're going through them?
No.
There's about, I've got 9 document files over here. 5 which is probably the 13 files that is
Even the setup failed.
Did you get the other 2 to open up?
No.
you may have something wrong on your computer.
Send them to them on Skype or something there, Tom, okay? See if they'll open up that way.
He has the files already. The other thing you can do is you can go to each current where I've unzipped them. And so he could download each one of them by himself. But the zip file makes it so much easier to download and extract them all at once.
Okay, I'll go to eConcurrent. I heard what you said. I barely heard you. You said they're separated over at eConcurrent.
Right.
Okay.
They're in a folder with the same name as the zip file.
Okay. I'm mute.
I'm running Windows 7, and this last week Windows 10 tried to automatically take over. It got partway into the process and failed and gave me back Windows 7, but ever since some of my software is not very stable. So I wonder if something like that has happened to some of you guys with Windows 7.
Yeah.
What you want to do is get a program called Never 10 and run it, and it'll prevent Windows from switching to automatic update. Because what it's doing is that you even though you've said you don't want it to update, it goes in there saying, okay, I'm going to sock it to this guy, and Never 10 will stop that.
Yep. Must have been what happened.
Have some kids in here to clean up?
Okay, has everybody got the files now or know where to get them?
Yeah, they have to catch up.
Does anybody have any questions about the files?
I got a question.
Okay.
On the SF30, the contract ID code, you've got it all X'd out. What goes up there?
How many X's are there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, so that's going to be our lien number.
That is your certificate of live birth number.
Oh, the COL. Okay. Thank you.
See what it says? What was the example for? Certificate of live birth. Now, when you do one for the Social Security, for the SSN, you'd put the Social Security number there. Okay? If you're going to do something else, basically like your driver's license, you put your driver's license number there.
Got it.
You can use these things for anything out here. Court case. But basically, most court cases, they're going after your driver's license.
Right.
That's what they're charging because they're state courts. And the one that the state can charge, and all these courts are contractor courts. They're courts for the contractor. The state of Iowa or whatever is the contractor. You are basically the owner of the contract. Okay? And that's why you have the power to change the contract. And that's what the 30 is doing. You're going to modify the contract to where you want it to go, not to where they're trying to make it go. They're trying to control you with that contract. But you own the contract. They're the servant. Okay? Harry S. Truman, that little communist traitor that he was, he set up the GAS system in 1949, the year after they changed and modified the birth certificate numbering system so that they could use it in their commercial contracting systems. Social Security wasn't around, but they were building onto it in the process. Most of the country didn't get under the Social Security until in the late 50s or early 60s. Okay? Selective service was not in place. They brought it in afterwards to bring in the military complex in under Eisenhower in the damn system so that they can control military expenditures for the corporate bankers. Don't make this more complicated than it is. Throw all that other garbage out that you've ever heard in the past, all the way back from the Treaty of Paris to all this other garbage out there. But the King of England owns the damn treasury of this country. That's total bullshit. Okay? He owned assets that belonged to the colonies, okay? But the colonies did not own the national treasury of the country. That was still controlled by the Cherokee Nation, because it was the Cherokee Nation that basically gave the $80,000 that allowed the purchase of Louisiana, or the Louisiana Purchase. There's a lot more to history than basically most of you, these experts out here, have ever heard of. But, they're so God almighty know-it-alls in the damn process. Don't even understand how the damn communist system out here has been operated for years.
Good. What you doing down this way?
Most all of our contracts are non-construction contracts. In other words, we're not building anything essentially with them, but they are still operated in the form of construction contracts, in that they have to have a performance and a payment bond. But they're not like building a house or a skyscraper or basically a car or anything like that. It's all monetary contracts. Okay? So you, basically, we are the ones that control those contracts. When we gave our signature, we basically allowed the setting up of the surety, the bond person, in our name to be the surety. But these communist shitheads out here, banker rip-off artists, we were supposed to be the owner and the principal assured in the process. But see, they've modified the contracts in the background, and that's why all these people are in prison, is because they're being held as the principal surety. All those people had to do was assign the surety over to the bonds, and they had to be released. Because we're supposed to be the assured. We have to live by the commandments. The initial 10, and now the American 15. The 16th through the 27th commandments are commercial commandments. They're not valid American commandments. We're the federal government in this country. The president, the governors, the senators, the congressmen, all those people down there, they're the national government. The federal government, we the people stand over them. And they're not supposed to violate the commandments. But why do you see no commandments on the walls? You should have a set of the 10 commandments on one side of the wall in the courtroom, and basically the 15 commandments on the other side of the wall. There is nothing about God in this. It's about the spirit of America. That's the God that basically is in charge of those commandments. your spirit is the God. There's no hocus pocus, anything else out there. It's the universe, and your spirit is part of the universal harmonic system out here. They don't want to have those commandments in the courtroom because these commercial courts are violating every commandment out there. They can't even comply with the original constitutions. I said that. Especially Amendment 1, or Article 1, Section 10. But you have the hammer now when you see the power, and basically people have gone into court and put that SF-30 in place and shut the thing down. It's not the OP-90 and 91. It's not the SF-25 or 25A. Those are commercial contract performance and payment bonds. We use the SF-14 for the surety. We, the living, are over our bond person. That's the way I try to write the example up there for you. And then basically the SF-1416 is the payment, the payment bond for you to go in and get an adjustment for your labor. Right now, you're getting paid peanuts in labor value. You go out there and work an hour, basically you're not getting an hour's worth of pay. Most of your pay is going into the bond side of that payment bond. The performance contract or payment or performance bond is the SF-1418 form. Your utility bills, your traffic tickets, anything like that goes against the performance of the contract bond to be set off there. Taxes will come out of that one. And then basically you can modify this, the whole thing, and liquidate them per UCC section 2A-505. You can come in and order the termination of or cancellation of these contracts and settlement. That goes right along with the second sentence in paragraph number 4, section 4 of the 14th Amendment. It also goes along with the Expatriation Act 249 that was signed the night before the Expatriation Act. But for H.R. 192, we, the people, we were the bailors bailing out the commercial government in this country that has continuously fucked us over in the process because they're a communist organization. They're operating in the same way that the East India Company was doing prior to the Declaration of Independence. And the fraudulent King of England. This isn't that hard to figure out. But you guys, so many people out here are so damn educated, college degrees and everything else up the ass, and they can't even read a simple damn form and figure these things out. One guy called me up and said, hey, did you fill out the 1041 form when you got your 98 series number? I said, no, I don't owe any taxes. Why should I fill it out? You fill it out, basically you're claiming that you owe taxes. Let them come after me and say that I owe taxes and prove it. They better bring the contract. But we can go in and terminate all these contracts, liquidate them, take the funds away from the corporation, the contractor, because the contractor has been getting all his brothers and sister-in-laws and everything else in to come and rip off our damn construction funds. That's what the courts are doing. Nowhere in the 15 American Commandments does it say you have to be controlled driving a vehicle in this country. You gotta know who in the hell you are and start operating that way. You want extra funds out of your Social Security account, you can go in and modify that Social Security account contract. Say, hey, I want some Social Security payments out of that compensation right now. And I'm only 55 years old. I don't have to wait until I'm 67 or 62 or whatever. Put the charge in. Send the SF-30, the 1414 and 1416 into the Social Security Administration. Tell them if they don't comply, you will bring in the Contractor Investigative Division into the process, the CID. This is what the CID has been waiting for us in all the 39 and 49A forms that we've been submitting. We had to show them the contract modification, how we modify it, and how these guys are violating our modification order. It ain't that hard to figure out. Play with the forms. Read the damn things. And be leery about the lies that are in there. Trying to say that both the principal and the bond person are the surety for this contract. That's bullshit. We're supposed to be the obligee, not the obligor. We have the power in the process using the 1418 form. We're doing a charge off. Using the 1416 form, it's a charge back. We're charging that contract back for our labor because they have taken about 90% of our labor and put it into the bond side of that contract. 1969, one silver dollar equaled one Federal Reserve dollar. Today, one silver dollar equals 17 Federal Reserve dollars. How much are you really getting paid? Most of your pay is going over into this bond. That's why you have to go after the payment bond to get your labor, your true labor assets back. You charge back. You can look up those two definitions in the dictionary. But you have to be able to read between the lines when you look at some of these definitions. I've told you that for years. I want to thank the persons that basically sent these things, these items to me. They sent me a bunch of other SS forms, but I looked those over and I said, no, we don't need those. We only need these simple ones. I was already looking at the performance and the payment bonds in the process when I was going in under the bills of credit and the bills of debt scenario. But this is where we now can put the hammer down, showing that we are the contract owner. The fictions can't own anything. The contractor can't own anything. State of Iowa, United States, Hillary Clinton. She don't own shit. She's just a damn thief. And most of these people out there in politics, 99.99% of them, there may be one or two good guys out there, but they've all been polluted by getting kickbacks into a retirement program that was never under the Constitution, never under the commandments of the country, that they were supposed to have a retirement. They were supposed to work and set up their own estate. The national treasury of the country was there for the disposal of the people from day one, to pay a debt, to borrow from, if needed. If able to pay it back, pay it back. The amendment that changed and gave the people the right to vote for the senators, that was a violation of the original Constitution and the commandments, the 15 commandments, that violated the rights of the state, the sovereignty of the state, republic. The two senators were really supposed to be working for the republic state sovereignty, okay, in the process. The congressmen are supposed to be working for the sovereignty of the people. And right now we know who in the hell the damn president's working for. They're working for their own damn back pockets. They're commercial bankers. In the last 100 years, there's only been one president that tried to act like an honest president, and that was JFK, and it killed him. He was trying to look out for the rights of the people. None of these other presidents have ever really done that. Reagan was just a figurehead, a puppet for George W. Bush, the banker, fraudulent communist, Hitler protege banker.
Right.
This call and all the information that I put out on this call is not for basically trying to tell you about the history of what has gone on fraudulently, all the people and everything else that have been killed. That's not really what I'm here to try and explain to you. I'm trying to show to you that everything all the way back to Cain and Abel has been about commercial banking or just banking. Everything involves around banking and banking contracts. There isn't one thing in that Bible that does not refer to that in some form or another. So many of these damn treaties have been fraudulently passed. Yeah, some people may go over there and be a representative to the treaty and sign on to it over there, but then lo and behold, later on, you find out that the treaty was completely changed in the process, just like the Treaty of Paris was. It was fraudulently changed. Our representatives were hoodwinked into the damn scenario. But a representative can't be the one to sign up on the treaty anyway. It has to come back and be approved by Congress. At least here in this country, that's the way it's supposed to do. Same thing is supposed to be done over in England with the House of Lords or House of Commons. I can't remember which one's supposed to have the power. The king doesn't have the power to basically do everything for the damn country. The Magna Carta took that away from him. President Shithead Obama doesn't have the power to put us into any harm's way. He's only a commercial banker. These commercial courts do not really have any authority over an American federal government citizen. Over. That's why I haven't heard anything on those 3 warrants that I basically issued out against the county attorney, a magistrate judge, and a district judge. Because they ain't going to do anything, because basically they would also, those judges could bring them into complicity also because they're on the take. But they're not going to do anything to me because they don't want to take this into a court action. An Article 3 court action. See, you've got to know where your power is and how to handle and how to exert it. Most of you people that have degrees and everything else, you could take them and shove them right up your ass. Because that's all that they are. They're just a damn piece of ass white paper. You got dumbed down more than you did anything else. You can't even read some of these damn documents. You only got the degree because you did what you were told to do. You didn't really learn anything. You followed the pack. You didn't have any common sense to think outside the box, to go and do your own thing. I was told way back when I was in junior college, and then I dropped out after that, but basically, I was told that basically contractors, corporate people came out. They were really looking for the C students, more so than anybody else, because they knew that they were the survivors. They weren't out there to try and either glory people and go on down the road. They were the ones that basically had the common sense to do the work and get the work done. And that was from an old-time contractor that basically was out there looking for hire-ons. He didn't want the A and the B students. He knew that most of them were already controlled. Their minds were polluted. Because they really didn't think outside the box. The only reason I'm saying that is because I'm getting tired of sitting down and hand-feeding some people that claim, well, I can't understand this. Well, you got 5 damn degrees. Why can't you understand it? Didn't you ever learn how to read? Think? No, they didn't. They only knew how to follow the leaders and basically do what they were told to do. That's why this country is not the great country it is, because most of the people that have gone to these colleges, they have literally just gone along with the bankers. Most of the damn buildings and everything in this country are banks or insurance companies, corporate buildings for lawyers, for attorneys, whatever. Non-production processes. You have a few companies like basically Microsoft that basically that turned out to be a rip-off country or company, ripping off the young minds, all for the corporate profits of the bankers. Bill Gates just turned out to be one of the guys at the head of the pack getting certain benefits that the bankers would allow him to have. But everything there was still on paper. It's a paper empire. Debts and credits. Not one that's founded upon substance, real substance.
A house of cards.
Yes, basically that's what I've been saying. When you sit back and look at all this stuff, then you can start breaking this process down, and it's not that hard to see.
Some of us see it, Patrick.
Yeah, but there's a lot of them that don't see it. That's the problem.
I know. I agree. I don't know what it's going to take for people to understand what Patrick is saying.
Well, there's two things, okay? I was thinking about this earlier. Basically, if people can't handle reading these simple documents, trying to figure them out easily, looking at the words, understanding that you are the owner of America, that corporations can't own anything, a fiction can't own nothing, okay? Only the living has the right of control in this world.
Yeah.
We have the power over on the land as basically under our birth record, whether it's in the Bible or whether it's our hospital birth certificate. We have the power over the commercial banking system on the seas of commerce by our baptismal certificate. Both of those documents show that you are the living person. Therefore, you are the owner. You have the power of ownership. And that goes all the way back to the very beginning of the Bible. I give you dominion over the earth. Didn't say I give the dominion over the earth to the bankers, to the attorneys,
Right.
to all these fraudulent bullshit artists. It's we the people. Every one of the constitutions in this country, state or federal, or national, I mean, starts off with we the people. And we are the federal government people. We are the federated government of this country, as called out in the Articles of Confederation. Read the definition in Anderson's dictionary about federal. I posted that up on some documents. It clearly identifies it right there. You guys can turn around and put all the bullshit statements you want in about the codes of law and everything else in there and basically destroy the simplicity of this if you want to. But you're fucking idiots.
Article 1, Section 10.
No, I'm talking about some of this other shit that people go in and use the codes of law in trying to explain how they have a certain right. The codes of law don't apply to us. The codes of law are to be enforced against the commercial corporations.
Okay.
They have to comply with those. That UCC 2A-505, that is the commercial corporation. They have to comply with that. If we, the people, come in and say, we cancel this contract, then that fucking contract is canceled. But we have to use the damn SF-30 form in the process to process the cancellation of that contract.
Okay. I'm looking at that right now.
Are you still using 15 USC 1 and 2?
Basically, they will be enforced against them in the process when we go to the contractors, to the Contractor Investigative Division.
So
that will be the charges that they can bring against them for the harm caused.
Basically, so you're not really using it as a defense.
No,
you're basically
we're using it as a tool against them that they are violating their own laws.
Correct.
Those laws are not ours.
Correct. Notice.
So that form, Patrick, is for the IRS Technical Support Division to send it to the IRS UCC Contract Trust.
For the federal contracts. For the state contracts, you go to your state treasurer or comptroller, or if need be, go to your attorney general's office.
All right, gotcha.
But in some cases, like your mortgage and everything else, you send it back to the bank. If they don't set it off when you give them the SF-30, the 14, the 1416, the 1419, and liquidate and give you all the assets back, then you turn around and file your claim in to either the Federal Banking Commission or to the state bank. Treasury Department should have the jurisdiction over both of them. Not the Department of the Treasury. The Department of the Treasury is one of the contractors in the process. The Treasury Department is not a contractor.
That's the de jure treasury.
That's the de jure.
Patrick,
That's
I have
the
a question.
national government. What?
I have a question, Patrick. So I sent out my bill of credit, and they didn't respond within the 3 days. So this would be the.
You need to follow this up and put these forms in, and
okay.
basically you can take your utility bill,
Mm-hmm.
you turn around and you modify, and in the modification, you set to do a charge off using the 1418, the performance bond, with the bill, and then you modify the contract with the SF30 and say you are hereby ordered to basically process all further bills of credit from the performance bond out here, not against me as the owner.
So you do these with each one of those contractors that won't comply, right?
Only you have to go back and basically do this and put these forms in. This is what's not why they're not complying, because they haven't been under the gun to comply. You haven't broken the presumption that you're the owner and not the principal surety.
Right. Okay. So
surety. Okay.
Those, yeah.
You are the principal surety and not the principal surety. Okay. Mm-hmm. Two different words, two different meanings. But we're the owner. If you stick strictly to that and say, hey, I'm the principal owner, and basically I am a federal government citizen, citizen, because the federal government, we the people, own this damn country.
I understand.
We own all the assets that come up out of the ground, not the government. The government is nothing but a service organization. They work for us. We don't work for them.
Oh, man, this is crystal clear. I got you. Okay.
And, Patrick, so are these GSA forms then are the actual instrument that they can use to set it off? Is that right?
Yes. This is what's gotten people out of prison. This is what people have shut court cases down with. This is what people have used to go in with traffic tickets. This is what I was missing going in on my traffic tickets, was these two or these forms and shoving them up that damn contractor's court butt.
So these were the forms we weren't using.
Yeah, Patrick, I wanted to bring something else to everyone's attention and get your opinion on it too. The templates and the examples that you show, they've got the OMB numbers, which expired July 31st, 2016. So I know that they update those on the GSA website, when that cycle is done. But if people are using those now, I think they need to get them out.
That's only for the performance and the payment bond. There is no OMB number on the security or on the SF30 form.
Right, I'm looking at it right now. There's no OMB on these. These are, aren't these GSA forms? There's no OMB on these.
On those two forms, on the 1414 or the SF30 form, there's no OMB number on them. That should tell you something right there.
I was going to say, that just hit me at the same time because they're not recycling it. They're not doing it again.
There should be no OMB numbers on any of those GSA forms.
Those are really owners' forms. Okay?
Patrick,
we own those forms.
If we're to file these forms into a court case for, an ongoing matter,
why should you file it in a court case? You basically drop this off the clerk of the court's office, and you're a done deal.
Okay.
Okay? See, you're not the principal surety. You're coming in and saying, hey, take the charge against the bond person. That's who you're calling in the court, is the bond person. Unless you caused harm or damage and violated one of the commandments, and then that commercial court doesn't have control over you anyway. It's got to be a we the people's court at that point in time. It can't be the state of shit place out here holding court over you. That's only a banking court working for the banking contractor.
So
and the only one that they can lawfully bring into court is the bond.
Could you mention
you are the owner.
Again?
You put your SF-30 in and say, you do this. Now, do people understand that simple phrase? You do this. You don't have any wiggle room.
Can you mention the forms again?
Huh?
SF-30.
SF-30 and the SF-1414, to where you break the presumption that you are the surety. You're the owner.
Right.
The bond person is the surety.
This is clear cut, man. There's no way you can mess this up.
You won't have to do any.
No, it's so fucking simple. That's the thing. But most of these damn educated idiots out here trying to make it fucking more complicated than it is. That's too fucking simple. I gotta fucking write a damn dissertation or a thesis on the damn thing before they'll believe it. That's bullshit. That's the fucking college mentality of people out here. Write a damn 100-page document in the fucking court and not get anywhere. When two simple little documents, 2 pages. That's it, 2 fucking pages.
Mm.
Alana's at our house?
Alana's at
you have your driver's license. Basically, you get tired of basically having to haul you in there. Basically, you do the SF-30,
yeah,
the 1414, the 1416, put down for $11.2 million on there. On the performance and basically also on the payment bond. One, the 1416, the 1418. Put those down onto your SF-30 and say, hey, I want these liquidated. Cash these. I'm canceling these contracts. They're to be terminated and liquidated, and the remaining profits, as identified in UCC, Section 2A, 505, all the remaining assets out of those bonds are to be returned to the owner, to the one who files the claim. You.
That's scary accurate, man. That's right on. That's spot on.
Yeah, it's real simple to read.
I'm looking right at it as you're talking about it. It's.
I just can't believe that basically this information hasn't been put out there in a more of a general process to people out here.
Well, I know about the GSA stuff, but I haven't seen these.
Yeah, you were looking at the 25 and 25A and the 90 and the 28 and all these other ones that are basically the construction contracts.
Right.
These are non-construction. These are the banking ones that we were missing.
Thanks a lot, Patrick. Appreciate you, man.
No, basically somebody sent them to me, and I started re-looking at these things, and I said, shit, here, I can see, because I was just already going over that information previously about these UCC, non-UCC contracts, that somebody also had given me a heads up on the non-UCC, and I started looking at that.
The light bulbs are on all over the place.
Yeah, but I can't understand why, if some of these people had this out here, where did they get it from, and why didn't the people that had it before them put that information out there to the people? Well, I just heard about another damn seminar that one of the guys called me up. Yeah, he went down there $500 or $600 for a weekend or whatever to go to a damn seminar and basically didn't learn shit out of it.
Patrick, can I ask you a question about the letter the letters that's inside the new folder? It's to the UCC Contract Trust Division. Do we need to send those forms to them as well if we did our non-UCC package?
Yes.
Yes, you send.
Okay.
You send your Social Security card, your DD-214, your Certificate of Live Birth. Those are national documents, okay, national contracts. They have to go into the Treasury, and that is really the Treasury Department UCC Contract Trust Division that is standing over the Department of the Treasury, as the Department of the Treasury is the main contractor that the Social Security Administration works under, and basically that the Bureau of Vital Statistics and the Department of Interior and all these other fraudulent contractors work under, is under the Department of the Treasury. The Department of the Treasury is the commercial contractor for the Treasury in this country. And it was set up under Alexander Trader Hamilton back in 1791.
Very interesting.
And Patrick,
Aaron Burr's the one that called him on it too.
Patrick, I noticed that you have the contract start date at about 3 months after your birthday. So we're doing it when the
that was the date that my certificate of live birth was registered by the registrar. Okay, 3 months afterwards. Normally, it's on your 1 year anniversary. 9 months in the hopper, and then 3 months out of the hopper. And that is a royal requirement. 1 year of age. You do not get your inheritance until you are 1 year of age. That's a royal decree.
Patrick, some of the newer birth certificates are being registered sometimes within a week or two of the actual birth event.
I know. They're doing it fraudulently. They're not following the laws. See, I was born in 49 before they modified the damn thing and brought in the damn GSA system.
So then we should put the registration date.
You put down whatever's on the contract, on the certificate of live birth, okay?
Okay.
You don't go trying to weasel word and basically think outside the box and screw it up. Put down what is there in black and white.
Okay.
Okay? Can you handle that?
Yep.
I know I can.
Can you follow instructions, lady?
I'm just getting some clarity, that's all.
Okay. Follow the instructions. You women ain't any better than the men in following instructions. The men are totally screwed up because they were out there building model planes and everything else and never following the instructions on how to put the damn thing together.
Yeah, that's true.
Missing parts and everything else. Oh, that's close enough. It looks neat, but they see it's missing parts. They got a whole bunch of parts sitting there on the table because they didn't follow the instructions.
Right.
So, Patrick, I have
to
to
start over again.
And that's the same way a lot of cooks are out there in the kitchen. They miss an ingredient and basically put the damn thing on the table, and it tastes like shit.
Yeah, you didn't make it right. You didn't follow the recipe.
Yeah.
So, Patrick, I have a question for you.
Okay.
I noticed that you have on the certificate of birth, you have 11 numbers on there. Can you clarify that for me and help me out with that?
It's whatever your registration number is, okay? Some states, if you were born before 1948, okay, you had a different registration number.
Okay.
If you were born in Pennsylvania, if you were born in Massachusetts, you have, in some cases, a 7-digit registration number. Okay? Now, some states, if you were born afterwards, they only put the last 8 digits, your 2 digits for your year of your birth, and basically then 6 digits behind that, and they leave off the district code number, the 113 or 114 or 125 or whatever, that's in front of that, okay?
Okay, so my number that I have, I'm looking at my certificate of live birth right here. The red numbers to the left are, I only have 6 numbers, so...
no, this is not the red numbers. This would be the black number up at the very top of the form where it says registration number.
Okay, mine has a birth number and a local file number. That's it. I was born in 1958.
Okay, it should be an 11-digit number. What state were you born in?
In Michigan.
Okay, it should be an 11-digit number.
No, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't have it on here.
When you went and got your birth certificate on bonded note paper, did you request one for your private records?
No, I just have the regular...
That's the problem with a lot of people out here. The one that you're getting, in some cases, will not have the registration number on there because that is a contract number, and they don't want that contract number out there to the general population of the world. That's a private contract number.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have to find out what your registration number, your real registration number is, and basically you can go down to the county you were born in and go into the recorder's office and get that from them. It's recorded into the book, the record book. You have a right to see that record book.
Okay.
I've gone in and looked at mine in the record book. They have to cover up the other 2 people that are on that page so that I don't see their record, but I can see exactly what my record says in the book. Why? Because I'm an owner. Because that record belongs to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got to go.
See, that's the problem that people don't understand is what power do you have?
Right. So I'm all the way. If I'm in Georgia, can I call, or I'll probably have to go in and because they're not going to give it to me over the phone.
Look at what the forms say, okay? And you put down reason why you need this. I need a full copy for my private records. That's the reason why you want it.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
And then get that sent off to them.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question, Miss? Can I ask you a question?
Thank you.
On your, you said you were born in Michigan?
Yes.
Is there a number 121 on your?
Yes.
All right. Well, that's your state, a live birth area code. So it would be 121, and then whatever numbers after that are your actual certificate of live birth number. Like I'm from New Jersey, so in New Jersey it says 129 dash, and then there's 6 numbers after that. So mine is actually 9 numbers.
Well, you're missing the year of your birth in there.
Yeah, because mine's is Texas, and it has the year of the birth. It has the actual full 11 numbers.
Yes, it should be the 3-digit district code number.
Yeah.
And the same thing goes for the selective service number. The selective service numbers were supposed to be a 3-digit number starting off. Okay? For the certificate of live birth, it was 3 digits. The last 2 digits of the year of your birth. Okay? Not 1949, but like in my case, 49. Then dash 6 digits. Now, basically, there's 2 districts here in the state of Iowa. They divided it up so that basically you have to multiply out, have 6 digits. Okay? How many people does 6 numbers end up with? One shy of $1 billion. $1 million.
Yeah.
999,999. So it's less than 1 million.
Okay.
So basically, since having 2 districts, they would have to have 2 million births in this country, in the state of Iowa. They barely got 3 million total people in the state. So they know damn well that they ain't going to run over numbers. Because the next year is going to be 50. The 3 digits and then a 50. And then new numbers behind it. So in 1 year, there ain't going to be 1 million people born in the state of Iowa in this district.
Okay. So
see, that's how the numbering system works. Think about these numbers logically, okay? Now, on a death certificate, they modify it, and what do? They change it into a 13-digit number. Instead of 49, it now becomes 2016. Yeah.
Patrick, Divine.
They just put it into a different category in the process on a death certificate.
Wow.
Patrick.
Wow.
Patrick, can you collect on a death certificate?
Huh?
Can you collect on a death certificate?
Yes, it's still a contract.
It's a contract.
And you come in with the authority, having the power of attorney or whatever, guardian over that death certificate contract.
Wow.
But you have to use the SF-30, the surety claim form, and basically the 1416 and the 1418 to terminate these non-construction contracts. They're banking contracts. You're going in and getting the assets out of that bank account that your father just died. Okay? You're going to claim his bank account. That's all there is to it.
Can you say the forms again?
The ones that I've been talking about all night long. The SF-30. The SF-1414. That's the surety forms. Okay? And then the SF-1416. That's the performance or the payment bond. Non-construction contract payment bond. And then the 1418 form is the non-construction performance bond.
Hey, Patrick, if we already sent in our non-UCC to D.C., we just need to send these forms along with it?
You need to basically do an update, and I would reference and send a copy of all those back in.
Okay.
Patrick, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, because I hear you talking about this. I was born in '56, and in 2010, I had a legal name change. I wish I hadn't now. It was total name change, not married, just total name change. And it's on the birth certificate. I have a copy of the original. I have a copy of the one actually after the name change with the legal name change on there too. So I had copies of both of those, and I've been referencing them, and I also used my legal name change document. My question is that on the original birth certificate, they had the 2-year in the middle, but after the name change, they made it into a 4-digit, okay, for the entire year. And my question is, at that time, did they create another contract, a UCC trust, from the different name, or is it? And that's what my confusion is. Or is it still considered the same? Because they tell me my original birth certificate. They don't know that I have an original copy of it anyway. But they told me that it's in a vault, still vault, and nobody can. They said nobody can get a hold of it. And they said even you.
Stop right there. Okay. You take that all in and send it all into the UCC Contract Trust Division and let them fucking straighten it out. See, people can screw anything up, and basically, you think you're doing something, and basically that's like half these people out here, especially these Moors and everything else, going out and trying to change their damn name and go over there. They're just fucking the system up. They ain't coming out of it. They're harming themselves. They're being controlled by somebody else, believing what this other person told them to do.
Hey, Patrick, do we need to open the Treasury direct account that I've seen referenced on the paperwork, or do we wait for the...
Just get your stuff in there, and they'll tell you what you need to do, okay?
All right.
You'll probably get a different account, not with the... See, the Treasury Direct is under the Department of the Treasury. You want under the Treasury Department.
Okay, you just answered my question, too.
I got you. So we just basically, if we send it back in, just reference, resend everything back in, update it, and then just go from there.
They'll do it for you.
Yeah, basically.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I'm on that phone.
Excuse me, the guy who asked me about my birth certificate and told me my number was 121. So can you answer a question for me? So if I have the 121 and then my year, 58, would I put this 6-digit number that's in red behind it? Is that the number, the whole total number? Because if that's the case, those are all the numbers.
Right now.
That would be 11 numbers, the 11 numbers there.
Wow, that sounds great.
I mean, that's what I did. They're asking for the contract number. That's the number on the contract.
Right. So I got the 121 and the 58, the year that I was born. That's 5, and then plus the 6 numbers.
That's 11. Patrick has 11.
No. Yeah,
put it in that way and ask the Treasury UCC Contract Trust Division, to see if this is the right number. You're going to send them the copy of that birth certificate anyway.
Got it.
Okay.
All right, got it. Thank you. I just needed clarity. Okay, now I know what to do. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. Once again, Patrick, I want to thank you for all your knowledge that you are sharing with us so freely.
It ain't all that much knowledge, okay? Everything that I'm doing is just common sense, okay?
Well, some of us, you're helping some of us awaken some of our common sense, all right? How about that? How about that?
I mean, you got an old junker. Go buy an old junker for $500. Turn around and get the certificate of title on it, and then cash that thing in, because that's still under the original contract. Payments of performance bond, and the initial deposit was transferred over from Ford Motor Company or whoever and basically they turned around and wrote bonds against that, using that value, that initial payment, because you never claimed those credits from the construction of that vehicle. So basically now they have bonds there that are accruing additional credits, and you can cash those in using the SF-30, the 1414, the 1416, the 1418. Send those into the treasurer. Say, I want this contract liquidated. If not, I will inform the contractor investigative division. And they will get off their ass and do something because they're scared to death of the contractor investigative division, the CID. But you call them that, not the criminal investigative division, the contractor investigative division.
Okay. CID.
Does anyone have suggestions on how to deal with student loan debt?
Same thing.
Same way.
You take your damn student loan. Look at the loan number. It's probably a 9-digit number. You turn around and you put the claim in against it and send it off to the Student Loan Association or whoever.
The Department of Education, usually.
Okay.
Wherever you're getting your bill from. That's who you send it into, the CFO of that bill collector. Third-party debt collectors, they have no standing in this process. You go back to the original contractor that you had.
Okay.
You have not signed any new contract with a fraudulent attorney debt collecting outfit. They're just in there trying to collect extra money so that they can put a service charge in against your account also. They're double dipping. In some cases, some of these guys are triple dipping.
Yeah, they're gravy training. It's just all gravy.
That's why I addressed basically the fraud that basically these contractors are doing in the letter that I had up there. And also that warrant that I put up for the arrest of these bonds and these contracts. And that's essentially what we're doing when we fill out the 30 and the 1414, the 1416, the 1418. We're ordering the arrest of that contract.
Oh my goodness, all these people that are in foreclosure and all this other crap, they should be able to close that stuff out.
Yes.
I have a question.
The bankers have been getting away with murder. They've been violating basically the first 10 commandments, but they're also violating the second 15.
Wow.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Actually, two of them. The first question is when the young lady sends the information to the student loan company, can you also CC the CID as well, so they'll know that you already sent something, kind of like ratting them out?
No, I would wait until basically you send that in. Basically, you get that in there with these forms, and they will comply within 3 days. If they don't comply within 3 days, now this is a commercial banking transaction under this SF-30 form. You just modified that contract.
Oh, right, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now, if they don't give you a response back within 30 days or 3 days, then you turn around and you go to the CID. You take a copy of these forms that you gave. Now you have your supportive information to the CID so that they can come down upon this shitting contractor.
I got it.
So, Patrick, is this like a contract novation? You're just changing the whole contract?
It's just contract modification, okay? Don't try and use fucking fancy words with me.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
Did you get your truck?
I'm just a fucking country boy from Iowa here, okay?
All right.
Patrick, I got my second question.
Keep your fucking English words to yourself.
All right.
Patrick. Hold on.
My second question was, real quickly, on the language on the endorsement, obviously that has to be changed to non-construction.
I got a question.
Wait until this other guy gets finished asking his question first, okay? Go ahead and finish asking your question.
The endorsements that the endorsements that we're writing on the back of the instrument or on a separate page, the language in there, shouldn't that be changed to non-construction? Because right now it just says construction contract.
Yes, I would change it to non-construction on those, okay?
All right.
Modify it to the appropriate terminology. I had it wrong when I put those in, but basically they're still being operated as a construction contract, but it's monetary construction, but it's not a construction contract. And see, that's what I didn't see, because I didn't have these 14, 16, and 18 forms showing the difference between the construction contract and the non-construction contracts. They're still being operated as a contract that is doing something, okay, a performance in the process, and then also ripping off our labor in the process too. And then hoodwinking us to becoming the surety when we're supposed to be the assured.
Did you ever get your truck?
No, because I haven't got the SF-30 and the other forms in there yet, okay?
Patrick, I missed
There had to be a reason why things didn't happen as fast as what we thought, okay? We were missing these forms. That's the bottom line. Now, I've had people call me up and tell me that basically the 30 form is getting people out of jail, closing down traffic tickets, you name it. Because it's now properly identified, and you're modifying the contract to say, hey, you can't come after me. I'm the owner. You have to go after the bonded person. He's the surety.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I got
you. Patrick.
Stay out of court. You never have to go into court with these things. You go into court and you're giving that damn contractor, court person, a right to file a service charge against your performance bond. That's why they want you to go to court, so that they can file another charge against your performance bond. That's the fraud. You're only paying them once.
They want you to pay again.
Yeah. And then they want you to pay it out of your back pocket so that they fucking control you.
Wow.
Yep.
So, Patrick, I got a question. Excuse me. I got a question again. I'm looking at your American civil, the arrest warrant that we're talking about right now, and you got your express mail. I can't read that. Is that FF? Did you send that through Federal Express or something like that, or what is that number up there at the top?
Express mail is basically a blue envelope with a express mail label, and it costs you about $23, $22.95, and it will get there within 2 to 3 days.
Wow. Okay, so that was the number. So that's that.
But it will be a 13-digit number, just like a registered mail number. Now, if you send it out as a registered mailing, it may take 2 months to get there.
Oh.
Because a registered mail has to be in somebody's possession the whole trip.
Okay.
Okay? That's the difference.
Okay,
so this is those numbers.
Go to your post office and look it up.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, I have something I'd like to ask.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. I missed a few minutes, about 5 minutes back. I don't know if you mentioned.
Oh shit! You missed the whole call then.
Figures. Anyway, I don't know if you addressed anything about the voters registration. And since I have not done that, I don't know what's on there. But shouldn't they also, also be including that?
Yes, I would include that one in there too. Okay.
Yeah.
And send that into the state treasurer, because basically they're using that voter registration card as a contract, okay, a non-construction contract, so that basically all the shithead congressmen, state congressmen, and everything can go and write bills against your account. Use your account as collateral.
I thought so.
Yeah, and basically it probably should be in the neighborhood of another $11.2 million performance and payment bond. Same thing with your marriage certificate, if you're married.
Does it matter whether you're divorced or not?
No, the marriage certificate is probably still out there. They never really canceled it.
Okay, I'll go get it.
What about your offspring?
Huh?
I said, what does your offspring play a part?
Kids. Yeah.
You have to get taken care of yourself first before you can become out of the system, and basically then you go after your offspring as the guardian, okay? They're under your guardianship until they turn 21. After that, they're on their fucking own.
All my sons are on their own.
That's where the living trust and all that plays a part in, and all of that name and all of now.
Yeah.
Would you suggest that the ones that have like retirement pension accounts, that sort of thing, and
close those all down, liquidate them.
Do it at that time or wait?
Do it right now. I would start terminating everything. Okay. Just become a little paper gin.
Yeah, you get all of that. Everything they've got in there, you get it.
Yeah, you start one, and basically after you get the one going, basically it should just be a repetitive item to do the next one. And then basically the next one's going to come even faster, because you'll start having templates already set up there that now all you have to do is change the number. You've got all the wording on there. Now you just change the number on it and change the title.
I can think of 1,000 things.
But see, I sort of screwed up on mine the other day when I sent it in. I was going right along with that, but basically on the one for my SF-30 for the certificate of live birth, I had the damn Social Security number on there instead of my birth certificate number on there. But if they can't figure it out, basically, they're fucking dummies.
Yeah, and once you put the ones in for the COLB and the SOCH, it seems like the rest should just domino effect out.
Yeah.
They will come and help you in most cases, okay? But you can go ahead and start the process.
I see. All right. I thought you had said that before.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Pretty much start making the state aware that basically they've got to turn around and put in the order and say, hey, state treasurer, I want restitution. I mean, you go into the Social Security Administration. If you're scared to death of this, just do an SF-30 and a payment bond, the SF-16 and the SF-14, and send it into the Social Security Administration and say, I want another $2,000 a month into my Social Security account.
Wow.
From my payment bond.
Oh, that's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, they've got to do it.
That is awesome.
But if you're canceling it,
Well,
if you're asking,
I'm talking about two different scenarios. If you're canceling it, you're going to liquidate the whole thing. But some of these people are so damn scared to death. Basically, try one thing. Basically, go to your utility company. Get that set off. Give them the order to take all future bills out of the performance bond and don't bother sending me a bill until I come in and change this contract.
Yeah. Got a bunch of billionaires running around here and don't even know it.
Yeah,
I'm doing this
They
tomorrow.
won't send you another bill.
Oh, heck yeah.
This is it, man. This is the ticket right here.
Oh, yeah. You said FS30 and 1414. Hey, I'm on
But
the
clearly, the COLB, the Social Security, and the voters are the key ones. Front to
Well, the
truly.
certificate of live birth, the military for a man,
No, in the
selected
military.
service number, okay? Because it was really this was really set up to be a man's world, okay? And the women were supposed to be under the protection of the man, but basically in this commercial endeavor, when after Woodrow Wilson got the 16th Amendment into place, then they brought in the women's lib and basically started transferring the dowries from the women over into this new birth certificate scenario out here so that the government could turn around and use that for their benefit too.
But they did it intentionally so they could use it, right?
Yeah. And then basically those the 16th through the 27th are all fraudulent amendments because they have infringed upon the original 15 amendments. They have taken away from them, and basically an amendment cannot take away from a previous amendment. They can only add to it, if anything. And by giving women the right to vote, that took and cut the man's voting power in half.
So they're making it look like they're doing something for women when they're actually not.
No, they're not doing anything for anybody. They're doing it for their own back pocket.
It's for the
They're
system.
destroying the families. That's what they really were after. Destroy the family structure. Destroy the farming structure.
Man.
They did it.
Yeah, and see, every male in this country is a farmer.
That is right.
He's not a father. He's a farmer.
We're supposed to be growing our own food.
No, because he was the one who planted the seed.
Children.
No, just keep it simple. He's a farmer because he planted the seed to grow the new generation.
Oh, okay.
The mother is nothing more than the kitchen oven, pots and pans in the kitchen.
Is that, Patrick, like when God said, be fruitful and multiply and replenish earth?
I don't want to hear that, okay? Just keep it simple, okay?
All right. I was just wondering. I was just asking a question.
See, so what it says in the Ten Commandments, honor thy father and thy mother.
Don't
Who
say
is
nothing
your
about the
fucking
kids.
father?
Yeah.
Who is your father? Your spirit. Who is your mother? Mother Earth. The Indians knew that fucking one.
Yeah.
Right.
See? Yeah. The person that had you in the womb, she was nothing more than basically taking and bringing all the ingredients in from the pots and pans and mixing them in and putting them into the oven until basically you popped out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
so she's not the mother.
Okay.
She's the oven.
Informant.
Yeah, that makes
sense. The hatchery.
Yeah.
And the father was the farmer. Okay? He's not a father. He was a farmer because he planted the seed.
He planted the seed. He's the seed man, yeah.
And the seed was your spirit.
Okay. That's real interesting.
But so many of these fucking educated idiots out here and all these fucking ministers and everything, they're out here to try and screw your fucking mind up.
And get you 10%.
Yeah.
Okay, Patrick.
Yeah.
Okay, when we shut down the birth certificate, won't that basically liquidate all the other accounts?
No, it won't necessarily liquidate all the others because the contracts are already in place.
So you've got to liquidate every contract.
every contract is a separate contract.
Okay.
They've already drawn the credits from the other one. So the credits are already sitting under this new contract that was derived from the original, but it's not, you get going, and basically then you can say, hey, I will work with you to shut them all down. Come and see me. Or you go ahead and start the process, but you just don't sit on your fucking ass.
And the bank account numbers also, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Even
any commercial
closed one.
contract you have.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got fucking more money than you know what to do with out there. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
All of them. I got so many bank accounts I've had. I'm gonna go back for all of them.
Now, what about the school registrations?
Basically, public school and everything like that. It depends on if you're out of there. Basically, that will probably have already been closed down. See that they were drawn against the damn contract, marriage contract in some cases.
So that would be under the mom and dad's, not under the
they were drawn against
child.
Against your certificate of live birth and your marriage contract, because to get into school you always had to go and give a copy of your birth certificate of live birth to them.
Right, except for now they're asking for Social Security, and most of us on the call probably had a Social Security during that time if it wasn't at the beginning. So at the point you had the Social Security, it would switch over to the child, and they would be the one it would be under. So I would think there would be two different numbers for each of those.
When they signed you up, with Social Security, it wasn't really supposed to go into effect until you turned 18 if you read the Social Security card when it initially came out. But they have modified that recently, and see, that's what they do. They come in and they modify these contracts unbeknownst to us, letting us know that they've changed the contract on us, and then we're under this contract because we don't know any better, and that's why this simple little form, we can come in and terminate these contracts when we understand they're fucking us over.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can change the contract.
Yes, we can order the termination, cancellation, termination, liquidation. You can be like Dorothy and throw a bucket of water on it and wash it away.
I think you should do a rap song about it. The way you just said that.
No, I just do a rap and rave.
I think you just did a rap on it.
I think you did too.
Oh, that's funny. Wow.
Yeah, I just can't believe these other people on all these talk shows and everything else. And basically they just keep going on the same thing over and over again. Go into court. And basically this guy's such an expert. He's got several court cases he's been able to shut down. Well, basically, how did he shut them down? He never says anything about using the SF-30, the SF-1414, 1416, or the 1418. So how's he shutting these damn things down? Is he working for the damn bankers in the process to try and take them to court so that the court can turn around and file a claim against the contract? And then that's why the court shuts it down, because the court got a payment. So basically they're just going to back off. They're going to be happy with the payment they got.
Yeah.
Because, see, the courts turn around and file their claims into the bankruptcy court against your contract.
Yep, against the case number.
Yeah, using the case number, or basically they might file 2 or 3 charges against that.
Yeah.
And hell, if the damn traffic ticket's only $150, but they can turn around and file $1,000 or a $1,500 or $2,000 claim for services against that driver's license by way of the bankruptcy court, and you're never the wiser. Yeah, they'll say, okay, we dismiss this, but we're going to file a service charge against your account anyway.
And then you get paid. Yeah,
they do it. Go into the bankruptcy court website for the District of Columbia. They have a module session there to show the attorneys how to do this. We just didn't know what forms they were filing. It's not bankruptcy forms they're filing. It's the SF-30, the 1414, the 1415, and 1416. Primarily the 18, against the performance bond. And see, they really can't do the 1414 because they're not, they really don't have the power over their surety. But they, in some cases, they turn around and claim to be the trustee in the process. They're a bunch of fraudulent shitheads, really, when it comes down to it.
Yeah, they leeches, man. They leeches.
Everything that Jesus called them out in the temple when he tried to throw them out.
Bloodsuckers, vampires.
Yeah, and they haven't changed their damn MSO one bit.
They don't even have a land, a nation.
They don't need a land or a nation. They're vampires. They just suck you dry. Then they move on to the next whatever batch of folks.
Anybody else have any questions on this?
Hello,
pretty simple, straightforward.
Hello, Mr. Patrick.
Yeah.
You're awesome, man. The show is awesome. I've been following you for the last few weeks now. My only question is, when you want to get out of parole or probation, I know that you said that you petition the Secretary of Treasury, you write a petition letter through IRS technical support. Do you still do that method, or you do the GSA forms instead?
Go in and get the charge that basically the parole has and file, find out what instrument what did you originally go into prison on, okay? See,
Yes,
that's
sir.
what you need to really find out. And then you can put a charge back in against that, okay? And see, you can even take all your receipts, okay? You can do a charge-off with the bill. You can do a charge-back for your labor, for your incarceration against the payment bond, and you can do a charge-back against the performance because basically it was a fraudulent. You did the time, okay? So now the performance bond owes you because the performance bond didn't do the payment for you. You did it. So you can charge back, do a charge back against the performance bond for your incarceration. And you find out what the instrument was that put you in there and then put a same fraudulent claim against the parole department because they're just continuing to try and rip you off your contract.
Wow.
So
see
Patrick,
how the game is played? It's pretty damn simple.
So
Yes,
Patrick,
sir.
on these receipts, so that's debt basically that's out there, and we're just reclaiming the debts with the credit money.
We're claiming our credits back, okay?
Right.
Okay.
I got it.
And we're trying to get our credits back to where we get enough credits back, like basically, like I said, I was making $2.25 back in '69. It was in silver. At today's value, that'd be $40 an hour, okay, in Federal Reserve dollars now. How much are you getting paid an hour right now? How much?
$12.
Probably if I was working
$20?
$12. $12.
$20.
$12.
Yeah.
You make more than me.
One silver dollar. See, the wages of people has gone down. You're working for slave wages.
Man.
Your wages should have gone up as your education and everything went up. But it hasn't. It's gone down. So you're working as a slave right here in America. You're making less, in some cases, less than those Chinese people are over in China.
Yep.
Man.
And you're worried about them
Coming over here and taking
Coming over here.
Yeah. Forget
Hell,
about that.
they come over here, they're going to get fucked. Back over home, basically, they're probably better off right now under this new regime
they're better
than they are over here. See how dumb people are? The fucking frying pan in the fucking bank. Come in, we'll give you something. We're going to give you we're going to give you a frying pan to go along with it.
No, I don't want none of that.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll beat you over the head after we take care of the other.
You can do the same charge off for old cases that you've already served your time for and all that. You can do charge offs on them too from 96.
Just go and get, like I told you, go and say the Our Father about 10 times. You're going to have to go in. In some cases, you're just going to have to forgive and forget and get on with your life. Okay?
Okay. All right, I got you.
But anything that is still continuing to harm you, shut that damn thing down.
I got you.
Okay.
Patrick, how do you deal with the IRS in a situation like this?
Huh?
How would you deal with the IRS?
Same scenario. Hell, they're easier than shit there.
Yeah, the IRS is easy.
Yeah, you just take the performance, take the bill that they have, put it off against the performance bond, turn around and put a payment bond in there, a charge against the payment for like $50,000. Hell, we've heard of people going in there and taking a $5,000 penalty, marking it up for $15,000, sending it back in, and getting $10,000 paid back. Well, how did they do it? They had to use these forms, but they never told us that.
Yep.
Okay.
Wait until they give you another $5,000, and then you can charge them for even more.
Yeah, but once you do it once, they ain't going to do it again.
Okay.
Because you're going to be shutting the whole thing down, and basically then you'll never be taxed again anyway. Because you're not using their banking system any longer.
Well,
this is a plan.
What is the account? The Social Security account that they go off of?
It all depends. Hell, I've gotten bills from them for my damn 98 series number, for my state EIN number, for my Social Security number. See, the EIN numbers also set up another contract that has $11.2 million in there. You can do a complete liquidation of those and send those into the IRS.
okay.
You've got more damn contracts out here, and see, that's what the problem is. All these contracts have bonds out there. That's why the damn DTC has quadrillion bonds in circulation. Hell, there's more bonds in circulation than there is Federal Reserve dollars. And that's a no-shitter.
Patrick, do you think hunting licenses and fishing licenses fall under the same category?
You basically run them through and see, okay?
Okay.
I think anything that the state can do, basically they're going to put a damn charge against and basically make it a non-construction contract. So just do them all.
Alrighty.
Okay.
All right.
Hello, Patrick.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you? I heard about you recently. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get yelled at for asking this question, but I'm going to ask and pick the answer as you give it to me. What about child support?
You go against the marriage contract. The marriage contract has $11.2 million in there on both sides, from basically the male side and the female side.
Okay, know what I'm saying? Child support getting taken out of my check.
That's what I'm saying. You're not the principal debtor.
Okay.
You're not the principal surety. The bonds for that marriage license are the surety. That's why you have to use the performance, the 1418, the 1414, and the 1430, and put that into the Attorney General's office and tell them, now take the damn credits out of the damn appropriate bonded person.
Okay, but there was no marriage, though. Is it still the same process?
Well, how can they take child support out of you if there was no marriage contract?
They say it's my child, and being that he has the child, that I have to pay child support.
That's an interesting.
Then you send it in your Social Security account.
Okay.
Find out what they're charging. Ask the court, what contract are you charging here? You take your SF-30 into the court and your 14 and your 1416, your 1418, and said, hey, I need to know what contract to put on these forms so that I can order the proper set-off.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You're the best, man.
See, it wasn't that hard to figure out, was it?
No.
No, it wasn't.
No. You're the owner. Okay? Act like the owner. You're an American federal government citizen. We can throw these damn bankers out of here if we start waking up properly.
It becomes
Our
a lifestyle.
fathers did it to the East India Company 240 years ago. We should be able to do the same damn thing.
You got to make it a lifestyle.
Yeah. Basically, when you turn, for a male, when he turned 25, he was supposed to become an American Knights Templar. An American Knight to defend the realm.
Now you're opening up a whole new interesting.
But they got everybody going overseas and fighting wars overseas instead of defending the realm here. Just like what the church did back in the damn days of the Crusades and everything. Here, leave your country and go over and fight a war over here, and basically we'll plunder your wife and children here in the homeland.
While you're over there fighting. Yeah.
Yeah. Split the family up.
What's some good books out there to read, man?
Huh?
I said, what's some good books on this to read?
The Bible. The dictionary. Those are the only two you really need to read. Understand the word, and then understand that the Bible is strictly about banking. And once you start looking at that as a banking book, you'll see that this system, banking system, has not changed. It keeps popping its head up. Just a banking system. Then it goes into the commercial banking system. Then it goes back to the just banking system. Then it goes, the unjust comes back in and takes control. And then it goes back out. Okay? In and out. Just like a good fucking. I'm sorry to be harsh like that, but basically that's the American lingo that basically 99.9% of the people in this country fully understand, whether you like it or not. In fact, in most cases, that's the only way that people will understand anything, is to throw something right between their eyes. Okay, any other questions? Shut her down, Tom. It's been 2 hours.
Thank you, Patrick.
If there's
Thank
not
you.
enough information on there, sorry.
Oh, you gave us plenty.
Okay.
Oh, it's good, man.
We
This
got
is
plenty.
golden.
Thanks a lot,
Okay.
Patrick.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.